After months of rejection, I quietly cancelled our anniversary. What my wife did next changed everything 3 seconds. That's all it took for my wife to realise something was terribly wrong. She walked into the dining room wearing the red dress I bought her years ago, smiled, then froze. The table was empty. No candles. No flowers. No anniversary dinner. She looked at me with confusion before whispering, "Where's the surprise?" I looked her straight in the eyes and calmly replied, "There isn't one." The silence that followed was louder than any scream. My name is Ethan Carter. I'm 36 years old, and for 6 years I believed love meant never giving up. No matter how many dinners she cancelled, no matter how many birthdays she forgot, no matter how many nights I ate alone while my wife, Vanessa, said she was still at work. I convinced myself that successful marriages required sacrifice. What I didn't realize was I was the only one sacrificing. For almost a year, our home had become quieter than a library. She stopped asking about my day, stopped holding my hand, stopped looking at me the way she once did. Every conversation felt like a business meeting. Every hug lasted less than a second. Still, I refused to quit. I planned surprise weekends, left handwritten notes in her purse, cooked her favourite meals, bought flowers for no reason. Each time she smiled politely, then returned to her laptop. I kept telling myself, next month will be different. It never was. Then, 1 week before our anniversary, everything changed. I came home early after a client cancelled a meeting. As I reached the front door, I heard laughter coming from the kitchen. Vanessa wasn't alone. Her best friend Mia was visiting. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop until I heard my own name. Mia laughed. "I bet Ethan has another over-the-top anniversary planned." Vanessa chuckled. "Of course he does. He's predictable." Both of them laughed. Then Vanessa said something I'll never forget. "Honestly, I don't even pretend to enjoy it anymore. He keeps trying so hard and I don't know why." My entire body went numb, she continued. "Sometimes I wish he'd just stop caring. It would make everything easier." I quietly stepped away before they noticed me. For nearly an hour, I sat inside my car, unable to start the engine. Not because I was angry, because for the first time, I accepted the truth. The woman I was fighting for had already stopped fighting for us. That night, I made one decision. I cancelled everything. The luxury rooftop dinner, the violinist, the hotel suite overlooking the skyline, the custom necklace engraved with our wedding coordinates, even the anniversary cake. Every reservation disappeared with a single phone call. No argument, no dramatic speech, just silence. The next morning, Vanessa walked downstairs glowing with excitement. She looked at me and smiled. "So, what time are we leaving?" I folded the newspaper. "We're not." Her smile faded. "What do you mean?" "I cancelled everything." She stared at me. "Why?" I answered quietly. "Because you said you wished I'd stop caring." The colour drained from her face. "You heard that?" I nodded once. She tried to explain. It wasn't what it sounded like. But this time, I didn't rescue her from the consequences. I picked up my keys, opened the front door, and left. By noon, my phone wouldn't stop vibrating. Missed call after missed call, voicemails, long apology texts, messages saying, "Please come home." I made a mistake. We need to talk. For the first time in years, I didn't answer. When I returned that evening, every light in the house was off except one. Vanessa was sitting on the floor surrounded by old photo albums, wedding pictures, vacation memories, birthday cards, even the tiny handwritten notes I thought she'd thrown away. Her eyes were red from crying. She looked up at me. "I forgot how happy we used to be." I stayed silent. She whispered, "I thought you'd always keep fixing everything." Those words hit harder than any confession, because they were true. She had believed I would never stop chasing, never stop forgiving, never stop waiting. She was wrong. I sat across from her and spoke more honestly than I ever had. I didn't cancel our anniversary because I wanted revenge. She looked at me through tears. I cancelled it because I finally realized I was celebrating this marriage alone. She covered her face and sobbed. For the first time, she understood my loneliness. Not because I yelled, not because I threatened divorce, but because I became quiet. Sometimes people don't value your love until it disappears. Sometimes the person who always stays eventually learns how to walk away. And when they finally stop chasing, that's the exact moment the other person realizes what they've lost. Whether our marriage survived after that night isn't the biggest part of the story. The real lesson is this: never ignore someone who keeps choosing you, because one day they'll quietly choose themselves instead, and by the time you notice the silence, it may already be too late.